How many of you are sailors? How many of you have family members that are sailors? Well, my father is a sailor. His father was a sailor. My uncle was a sailor. My grandmother was a sailor. Her brother was a sailor. My brother is a sailor, and I'm a sailor. I started sailing when I was 10 years old. I was excited, but I also had fear. I was excited about venturing onto the third largest lake in Michigan, but I also had fear, which made it difficult for me to experience all that sailing had to offer. Lake Charlevoix is connected to Lake Michigan, and Lake Michigan is known for its violent winds which carry over Lake Charlevoix. The on-the-water instruction from the experienced instructors made learning to sail easier for me and helped me conquer some of my fears. As I continued to sail, the fears I had about sailing slowly went away, and I began to feel more confident out on the water. It was like everything I'd imagined and had been told. I'm the third generation of my family to learn how to sail on Lake Charlevoix, where our family has spent summers for over 110 years. I like controlling a sailboat and going where I want. In fact, from Lake Charlevoix, you can go anywhere in the world by going through the Great Lakes to the St. Lawrence Seaway straight to the Atlantic Ocean. The furthest I've traveled while sailing was during the Red Fox Regatta, held during the fall and took over a 2-day period and took many hours. I currently have my boating license, I'm certified in concussion and CPR, and I'm currently working to get my U.S. Sailing Level 1 instructor certification. Last summer in northern Michigan, I volunteered more than 300 hours as a junior sail instructor teaching kids and families how to sail. In arena racing, there are 11 sailboats that take part in a regatta held during the fall and winter on Round Lake in Charlevoix, Michigan. The course is very small, so you have to be careful when controlling the sailboat. Arena racing is governed by the Racing Rules of Sailing, which governs sailboat racing all around the world. It was Thanksgiving weekend, and I was competing in the Cranberry Cup Regatta in the J-22, and I'm moving around J-22 boat crews as one of the youngest sailors, sailing with men and women who have many years of sailing experience. The J-22 fits 3 people, it's 22.5 feet long, 8 feet wide, and weighs over 700 pounds, and has a sail area of 220 feet. Sailors say the J-22 is one of the best sailboats they've ever sailed on. I was asked to sail in the last race of the season, known as the Cranberry Cup, held on Thanksgiving weekend. The motto is "Bring your mittens." Sailing in northern Michigan in late November is a physically demanding sport that requires cold weather gear. As Ted Turner said, northern Michigan sailing is not your mill pond sailing. Like every year of the Cranberry Cup, there's a threat of it being canceled because of the ice and snow from the week and frozen lines because of the weather. On the day of the race, under the gloomy skies of November in northern Michigan, it was 24 degrees at noon and the temperature was falling fast. We were feeling the north gale winds. The rain is off and on, and in the afternoon comes a freezing rain that makes the surface of the boat slippery and dangerous. The telltales are flapping violently, and we had 6 grueling races on Round Lake in icy water conditions. All the boats are in close proximity to each other and are often only 1 arm's length apart. The huge Beaver Island ferry comes through, and we also have to dodge this and many other obstacles as we race through the tight course. Controlling the sailboat not to capsize is a major challenge in these conditions. It may look like we're about to crash into one another, but in fact, we are in control. I paid constant attention to the sails and wind. Sailing is between wind and water. Sailing for me has been a means to conquer my fear. After hours on the water in cold rain and windy conditions, the race was finally over, and it was another exciting day on the lake. For me, there are 3 fears when sailing. The first fear is letting your crew down and having a crew member seriously injured or drowned. That can easily happen in these conditions. The second fear is falling or being thrown into the icy water while trying to distribute the weight for maximum speed. The success of a racing sailboat depends entirely on the ability of each person on the boat to know and execute their role in a high-pressure situation. The third fear is letting yourself down. As one of the youngest sailors in the race, I was fortunate to surround myself with talented sailors that have many years of sailing experience who sail in all types of situations. I sailed with and learned from some of the top skippers in the country. On the boat, I work to empower the people around me by skipping my crew and holding them responsible for the success of the race. You need to learn to trust yourself. The challenges that sailing gives me is an inspiration to conquer fear. As a sail instructor, I work to inspire students to do and try hard things by pushing them out of their comfort zone and by having them do something out of the ordinary, just like how I challenged myself at the Thanksgiving weekend Cranberry Cup. The ways I help students out on the water is by having them experience different positions on the sailboat, like trimming the main and winging the jib, no matter the condition, and also by having them do certain drills, like capsizing on the water to put them out of their comfort zone. Sailing is the means to conquer fear. I like the wind on my face and the spray of the water.